Hi, I'm Tom Reeve and this is my 1990 E30 BMW. I was brought up with E30s, so I've always had the passion and love for BMWs. When I got into cars, I was literally about this tall. Like I say, from the age of 5, I've been tinkering around underneath my dad's cars with plastic tools and stuff, so it's always sort of been in the blood. But like I say, it took quite a lot to progress to this car. I had an Evo 10 at the time, and I was flicking through eBay as you do, and then I saw this and I was like, oh wow, that's amazing, I love the colour. I had a weekend to try and sell my old car to purchase this one, so it was a big rush, but I managed to get hold of it. The state of the car when I first got it, it was a bit rough around the edges. Aesthetically pleasing, it needed quite a lot of work, and I had to drive it 3 hours. It was very poorly. My first plans for the car was to try and keep it standard. Obviously that didn't work, but like I say, I've always wanted to turbo E30s, so that was sort of the first game plan to do, was to try and turbo it and neaten it up a bit. The engine of the car started off about 5 years ago. I turboed it standard, didn't last very long. Good fun, but it didn't last very long at all. So I pulled the engine out of it, basically started from scratch. So we've got a shorter crank, forged rods and pistons, which is short stroke as well. The headwork's been done, MSL racing head gasket. A few other little bits, like I say, powder coated parts here and there, just to sort of neaten it up a bit. So turbo, which is the main thing. So we've got a Boost Lab Turbo T51R, a few other little bits, so front mount intercooler, electric fan, bits and bobs. And like I say, bigger injectors, fuel pumps, stuff like that. It's a 2.9 stroker. I did want to go a little bit bigger, but like I say, trying to find the pistons that fit, that don't get rid of the strength of the block, was very hard. The engine itself took about 7 to 8 months to build. Like I say, getting the parts was most of the weight. But like I said, it's just sort of trial and error with these things. Like I tried to make things work and they didn't work, so I had to go from square one and just sort of try and make the bits I had work. So 8 months isn't really that long, I don't think, for a full engine rebuild. The exterior of the car, when I got it, it wasn't too bad, a little bit rotten here and there. We repainted it, same colour as when I bought it. I've changed the front bumper. It's M3 lower Valance, but basically it was a full M3 bumper. But I've cut it and modified it to fit because it is a genuine M-Tech 2 kit. But unfortunately, I had a little bit of a fight with the Badger, and the Badger won. So until I can find a genuine M-Tech 2 front kit, that's what I've done for now, which I quite like. Some people don't like it, but for now, I think I'm going to keep with that until I can find another kit. The wheels are 720. I started off with some ball bet Bs, but they didn't really suit the car, I didn't think. I wanted sort of like a racy, lightweight, strong wheel. So that's why I say I went for the 720, and the colour was just because it goes really well with the gold, sort of gold to green, sorry. So yeah. The headlights on the car started off, I got them from Germany, and they're angel eyes, which not a lot of people like. But they were like really white and in your face. What I did was, not that my missus liked it, I put them in the oven, heated them up, took the lenses off them. I've blacked them all out. Some red rings just to sort of give it some accents and stuff. And disconnected the halos, which is a good thing. I had the original mirrors for it. Then I swapped them for some black ones, and I thought that was it. I'm made with that, it looks really good. And then a friend of mine, E30 Jack, which you might have heard of on Instagram, he wanted a standard set of mirrors, and I really liked the carbon look. Just sort of goes with the car. So we did a trade and we swapped, which was really nice of him. And yeah, so I'm rocking the carbon fibre mirrors. I painted over the black bits, the shadow line of the car. Basically, it was starting to peel. And it was matte black, so I just sort of wanted to bring a bit of like glossiness to the car really. So I masked it all off and painted it all gloss black with 2K clear coat, just to sort of match the paint a bit better. The interior of the car started off with a grey Recaro interior, which I should have never sold. But then we stripped that out and started basically putting the cage in it. Then I was going to go full-blown race car with it. I didn't. I decided to carpet it all, so I had a little bit of luxury there. and then redid all the door cards, new set of seats, bits and bobs, and then redid the whole dash due to bad wiring and a few other little bits that were wrong with it. The roll cage, I did fabricate it myself. I bought a pipe bender. I'm a welder and fabricator by trade, so I just sort of attacked it and tried to make it work. It come out really well, to be fair. Future plans with it are to actually extend the cage and have a full cage going through the dashboard and sidebars as well. The car's purpose is basically a bit of a weekend toy. I try to use it every day, but unfortunately it's very thirsty. And like I say, it is just a bit of a weekend warrior, really. I do want to do a few track days in it, but like I say, I don't want to ruin it. So it is mainly just getting it at weekend and just have a blast, really. The biggest achievements with the car, I'd say, are the engine, because there's so much, like I say, time and effort that's gone into the engine itself. And like I say, the noise of it's amazing, really. So yeah, the engine is definitely the biggest achievement and the most work and time consuming part. So. The future plans with the car, basically I want to strip it down, I want to space frame the front end, that's something I've always wanted to do. Same with the back as well, cut all the back out, space frame it, not go too crazy with it, but just a nice sort of setup front and back. Few other little bits, I want to get a bit more power out of it. So I know it doesn't need it, but it'd be nice to get a little bit more out of it. I think I would do it again, yes. I don't know if I'd do anything differently. I'd probably start off doing it right this time, because like I say, there's a lot of trial and error and blowing up turbos and engines and stuff. But I think I would do it very similar to what I've done now, to be fair. When I picked it up, my friend was in the passenger seat, and we didn't realise the door locks didn't work. So we came coasting into a roundabout, not fast, but we were just going like right round the roundabout, and the door decided to open and my friend nearly fell out. Luckily he was wearing his seatbelt. So the end result isn't what I expected at all. Like I say, it was supposed to be quite standard, just quite like an OEM, nice, clean looking BMW, and I went a little bit overboard with it. I'm happy I did, but yeah, it's definitely not the outcome I was expecting, but it's a hell of a lot better than I ever planned. So. This car is special to me because, like I say, I brought up with E30s, E28s, say my dad was into all of them, and just growing up it was just sort of the feel of it, the old school sort of driving of the cars themselves and the looks, really. And like I say, when I found this one I was like, oh, I've got to have that. It's my dream car, I need to have it. So that's basically why I fell in love with it, really. I've owned the car for about 8 years now. Say on and off with the engine difficulties and trying to get it to where I want it. I've probably been building it for about the past 6 years, on and off. But to get it to where it is now, it's taken about 3 years. I'm most proud of the fact that most of the work is done by myself. Like I say, trial and error, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, and teaching myself how to do things, really. Because like I say, I'm not an interior man or anything like that. I can do engines, that's my thing, but like I say, trying to learn how to do the interior and stuff like that, just learning as I go along, really, which was really nice. Future plans with any other sort of projects is I do want a touring E30, which would be nice. Purists might like it, but I want to put a big V8 in it. Other than that, it's just sort of, I want a few more old Beamers because I absolutely adore them. I think they're ace. So. Driving experiences in this car are good and bad, really. I've had quite a lot of good experiences, but it's quite lively in the wet, so it's caught me out a few times, which is good fun, but then like I say, it goes to a point where you overstep the mark and you run out of talent, so there's been a few hairy moments. The top speed of the car, like I said, I've been playing around with it, it's still sort of low boost running in, but I've had 150 out of it and I sort of gave up because it scared me a little bit. It's currently running £15, 400 brake horsepower. Parts, it was fairly hard to get quite a few in the UK. Most of the forged parts have all come from Latvia because it seemed easier and more cost effective to get them from there. Other than that, engine parts were quite difficult. The rest of them was all UK based. Suspensions from Driftworks, wheels, and the rest of the bits I sort of just had laying around. So. People, they either love it or hate it, which I suppose you find in anything in life. But most people like it. You get the few people there that think I've ruined it. But majority of them do like it, because like I say, the noise and how fast it is, it's just an all-round fun car really.